magic shall rend you.
Over before it began.
Witness a new domain of chaos.
The banshee anchors away.
Shitty P in the house, coming in fast. What's up, my man? How you doing this weekend? I hope everybody's having a wonderful weekend. It is Sunday morning for me. I'm sure it's Saturday night for a lot of you guys. Could be Sunday as well if you're on this part of the world with me. We got to do some arena stuff. I'm on my main account. You know, on my main account, I missed doing the Vortex boss for the first time in 2 seasons 2 nights ago. I just, I was on my account. I was completing all my stamina, doing everything I needed to do. I did everything. I made sure before I went to bed I had all my stamina gone, that I purchased all my bread. Man, but for some reason I just missed doing the Vortex. Good weekend, thawing out. Yeah, it's supposed to be cold today for us. How cold is it where you're at? Today we've got rain that could turn into snow, and it's just dropping down a little bit. But I feel like the winter season's kind of coming to an end soon after this, after this cold area. What do we got? February? Yeah, after February going into March, isn't that when it starts kind of going back to starting to get warm at least? I don't think we've had a cold season. Not this winter. I don't think it's been very cold. But where we're positioned, we don't get snow every year. So it's not bad. Was 19 during the week? Damn. So you get snow, huh? 19 during the week. Yeah, we don't really see snow that often. It'll have to be like a special year for us to see a good amount of snow. I remember, it's been, I've almost been here 8 years, and I've only really seen snow one good year, where people had to come out and kind of shovel in front of their houses just to get it off the road. And everybody does that here in Japan. They're really cool about it. Everybody will come out of their house and they'll shovel it off the road. So we don't have, we don't have machines coming and dropping ice everywhere and cleaning off the roads. It's not like that, because it doesn't happen that often. 36 Celsius here now. Good morning from the UK. What's going on? Welcome. The Ukes. I don't know what they call them. Ukenites? The Ukes? I know that none of that's right. Sounds cool though. We have about 3 inches. Okay, now I could deal with 3.5 inches, but not the half inch of ice. The half inch of ice is never fun. I went up to Hokkaido, the northern island of Japan, for a ice festival where they carve everything out of ice. Things as big as like a huge building, 5-story building, Well, some of them, a few of them were really big and that tall. And then there's a lot of other ice sculptures. And ice on the ground is not fun to try to navigate through. Even if it's a little bit, here and there. Just to try to, because then you're scared. No matter where you step, you're worried. You got to be careful. The Brits... Summertime? Oh, if you're in, if you're down in Australia, right? It's the flip side. You got the summertime going on. Yeah, if you're in Oz, you've got summer. Or I guess Oz in South America, would it be the same? Yeah? Summertime for you guys? The summertime Christmas, right? I remember seeing Australian photos of Christmas in the summertime, and they're in t-shirts. They're all in t-shirts. I'm trying to knock out 5 battles here. We've got some other stuff to do on the test server. I want to test out some unkillable teams. Speaking of those teams, let me pull up. Like, do you guys know the time frame we need to use to do an unkillable? They always do it with Zephy and with Ogak. I've got Ogak on my main account. I don't have Zephy. But to do unkillable on pretty much everything starting out, and even unkillable on the Vortex boss up to 150 stacks, which is pretty insane because I don't even make it to 150 stacks on my main here, not even close. So even if I lost my elemental affinity advantage of a 5-team bonus, I would think making it to 150 stacks would be pretty nuts. So I want to see what kind of damage that is. And we can tell everybody the timing, and if you have those 2 guys and you're going into season 2, season 3, starting out, it's just really easy. You just use those 2 to cheese everything out, and you can make it very convenient for yourself. I think I need to do one more battle here. I had to do 5 for the week. Let's knock this out. This will be my last 3v3 for this week. Won't have to come back here again. Yo, Demon, what's happening, buddy? How you doing today? How's the weekend for everyone? We were just talking about some snow. Some people have snow right now. Some people are in the summertime in the southern hemisphere. us in the northern hemisphere, we don't have snow where I'm at. I was saying that it doesn't snow here very often. You know, once every, I guess it's been like once every 8 years. Maybe it's twice every 8 years. Thawing out. See, I think we're just about to hit like our coldest time, but for a short time, maybe for like a couple weeks. Coldest we're gonna have, and then it'll go back to being warm. But again, it's been a kind of a warm winter this winter. I like it. I like the weather. As long as it's not really windy. I don't like windy and cold. But as long as you have the right gear for any situation, you're good. I'm on seasons 2. Still no Furbath, Garius, or Adolphus. Do you know if we're going to get the 99-cent selector box? You know, somebody asked about that in content creator chat. I think it was Ivy recently, but I don't remember seeing a reply. Hold on. Because I'm curious about that too. Wasn't it Ivy or someone? Okay. And can we confirm for the Epic Selector chest for $1 for season 2? It specifically said when we purchased the chest last season, it would reset in the next season. This week would have been the same time. Oh, really? I didn't know this week would be the same time frame that it came out, because I think it did. It came out around the 45-day mark, right? Okay, maybe we'll do one more. One more. Just to make sure we did our 5. No response. Okay, let me reply. As well. Okay, I'm gonna say I'd love to know this as well. Confidently tell our viewers all right. I think that's right. Love to know this as well. Would be awesome if we could tell her, if we could. Would be awesome if we could confidently tell her. Yeah, right. Okay. At community managers, yes. Ivy's post on the 99-cent. Selector box for season 2. That's it. Post. All right, so I posted to them as well. They didn't respond back. Ivy Lee asked this, I think days ago, but it's the weekend, and of course, they don't really respond back and say, "Hey, we're checking on something." They'll come back to us, I guess, when they have an answer a lot of times, but it's kind of weird. You would think they would respond back and say, "Okay, I acknowledge you said something to us, and we're gonna find out for you." Even if it takes a week, that would be really, really nice. If you just say, "Hey, I got you. I know you're asking, and we'll look into it." And no ETA on when the reply will be, but at least we'll look into it. But we don't really get that. So she asked that just yesterday, so it wasn't long, and it's the weekend, right? She asked yesterday, the weekend. I'm sure when they get back in Monday, which will be tomorrow for them sometime, since they're kind of on the same part of the world as I am. Yeah, that would be the right thing to do. At least acknowledge that you saw it. Otherwise, we don't even know if you saw the post. Maybe you missed the post, you know? Maybe we got to ask again later on, and we're all grumpy about it, but you missed it. So, just acknowledge, man. Yeah, you saw it, and you'll see what you can do. Okay, great, no problem. Then like a week later, we could be like, "Hey, guys, I just wanted to follow up politely on that, Steve, what's going on? Who's calling me Steve right here? I'm Steve. This is Steve with the beard. If I'm fully, if I'm freshly shaved, that's Stu. But with the beard, that's my evil twin, Steve. Who to choose out of those 3? Who to choose out of those 3? I would honestly go Garius right now. Garius and Adolphus are both super strong, but Garius with the Frost affinity, because the Frost is so good right now. With the Ice Blast guys, if you have some good Ice Blast, there's a lot of good other support to put with Garius. We can obviously use Ardrith, which is coming up soon if you're able to get Ardrith with the new legendary. I would get Garius just because he heals the whole entire board. He gets those defense stacks that makes him so strong. When he does his ultimate, he clears all debuffs off himself. So even if he had a heal block on himself, he's going to clear it and then heal himself. With all those stacks of defense, he mitigates so much damage, and being able to heal the whole entire board based off the defense, what you're going to put on him, you can put all the defense on him you can. It's just crazy. It really is pretty crazy. So I would go after him. Yeah, Shinna and Cedric and Nord. Yeah, I would go after him. I think overall, every season, you cannot go wrong with Garius. I really just believe that, you know? DRA! Steve is in the house. Steve Gaming. Hey, Steve Gaming. Is there anybody out there that wants to start a YouTube channel and your name is Steve? Get it going. Blow on the Horn, Grand Arena 1, and this one. Complete Equip Forge 10 times. Equipment Forging 10 times. We haven't done that 10 times this week. We can do that with some lower level stuff if we need to. Whoa, look at that. Always go back and check. You never know if you have some legendary things to forge. Critical damage with no crit rate. Nothing great there. I like this set, though. I do need some more of this set. It'd be nice to have more of this set with some accuracy on it. So I can get those stuns on those multi-hit ultimates. Get those stuns up. Or multi-hit battle skills. Any kind of multi-hit stuff. That was only 3. We needed 4 more. 2 more. And check these. Even though they're epic, check your runes, because you never know if you need to forge some of those. They can still be very helpful. Okay, another weekly done. Hey, there we go. We can make some more of these. Commissions, we'll get that. I do need to run Grave of Curse, Grave of Rot, but it's this week, so maybe they're going to tell us to... I thought they already told us to run Curse recently for the Lunar event. Temporal Vortex, save damage on... Oh, complete. Okay, not very many left to do. When's this run out? When's the new week start? Where was it? Here it is. 4 days and 21 hours. We got some time. Did I miss anything else? Yeah, I hope we get the 99-cent selector box. I do. I think that'd be really cool. Now, if they change it and they make it cost a little bit more, since it's season 2, and you can kind of just keep picking epics every season, which I still don't think is a bad idea because they come out with new epics all the time. I'm sure there's some epic that I'm... Yeah. There's I'm missing Nathaniel still, and I'm missing Zarloth. So I'll pick up Zarloth if they do that. Please. Yeah. Let's go. I will get Zarloth, and then hopefully one day I'll get Nathaniel, maybe from my summons later on in the season when we have those blessed summons, where we pick 3 legendaries, and then we also get an epic from an epic selector box of the pool of epics that they show us after we summon 25. And then I'll pick up Nathaniel. And if they don't come out with it, I'll have to pick up Zarloth that way. What's going on with Horus? I got Urion, as he ran last season with Isolde, Horus, and Elvis. Nice. A Lego chest for $1.99. I don't think that's going to happen. If that did happen, I would pick up Zephy and do this Unkillable team that we're going to try to do today. I would definitely pick up... I don't want a Minotaur. I don't want a Melee. I don't want a Dauntless. What I want is... what's her name? The lady, the fire lady. And she's not Necrosis either. I don't think she's kind either. Felicity. That's what I want out of here. Felicity. I've already got I've got Sutha, so I know we can get Sutha out of here, and I've already got her. So I don't want to pull her. I want a Wicked, ranged. Yeah, that's it. Felicity, that's what I want. I'd pay $100 for a guaranteed Adolphus or Garius. Damn, man. They could make it $4.99. I don't see why raising that would be bad. You know, first season to help people out, 99 cents. Or at least like the first month that they play, 99 cents. And then when you come out with another one, $4.99. Flora is an exclusive, so she's kind of hard to get. All those exclusive heroes have a much lower drop rate than normal legendary heroes. If you didn't know, it's pretty hard to get those. Completed daily commissions in arena. Okay, I can do that later on my own. Let me look at the Vortex boss. Let's launch. Let's do the Vortex boss so I don't forget. If you guys weren't here earlier, I forgot to do the Vortex boss my very first time, I think since I've been playing, 2 days ago. And I did everything. I woke up and I thought about it. I woke up and I was like, wait a minute, did I do the Vortex? And it was already past reset. I was like, damn it. I don't think I did. So 2 days ago, I missed out. Look, I'm getting 42 million and now I'm already at 98 still. I need to get off this whale server. They merged us with like crazy whales. This is yesterday ranking. Look at all these people with 60s and 61 millions. There is these two, right? Oh, because this week, I think this week we get additional damage from Dauntless, is it? I do have a Dauntless team we could try out. There it is. There's Zephy and Ogok. Nice. He's got awesome. He's got Thar and there's Jinka, so killing it. Darn it. Now, what's this person got with this Ice Blast team? This is the same because he's got the exclusive. You just don't know how strong these exclusives are, man. When you have those exclusives, it just elevates your damage crazy like. Yeah, same. I got the same. I got the same. I don't have this artifact, which would give him more damage, of course. I don't have this lady or this artifact, which would give my team crazy damage. What can you do? Allies' attack speed is increased by 50%, and basic attack damage is increased by 25%. They gain 1 stack of heal over time every time you gain a buff. For poor new content for Season 2, the lack of bread. I do think we need some more bread. I think it is very difficult to level up a lot of heroes every season when we're getting new heroes. And I think it's going to be really interesting. Further seasons, season 2, season like 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. How many heroes are we actually going to be able to level up? And I have a feeling that we're just going to level up the same ones we always do because, right, they're the best ones. We know they're the best ones, and we don't have a lot of stamina to play with anything else unless we have a test server to find out. So it's actually, you know, all this battling with me trying to get this test server, it's needed so badly. It's crazy that we had to even... You got Felicity on the horn? Hey, man, congrats. Just now? Today? What? If I go over to chat? Where's chat? No way. Oh, you're probably not on our server. Does it come up here in server? Yeah, it does, because this says summoned Stegamuffin, Zephy. That's cool. Twitch over here. Trollgar, Avelius. Nice summons. Is that 2 Zephy? Zephy again? Oh, man, maybe it's time to summon right now. Maybe it is time to summon. Do we have any cool banners going on? You're still in season 1? That's awesome, though. Great pull. Hey, that's Ogok. We got him already. There's Zephy right there. Receive a blessing. This goes away in 9 days, so this just started, huh? In here, I could get Filto, which I like. Avelius, Filto. I've already got him. What's his name? Holdork. I've got Holdork. I've got Stagamuffin. Trollgar, I don't have. Twitch, I don't have. Sagamir, I do. And Erzilis, I have him as well. So there's only a few here that I don't. Like a few good ones, though. If I got Filto, that would be sweet. Filto would be amazing, but to summon on something like this, we don't get an additional chance to get this hero until after our first legendary pull. Then we only have a 2 times chance. Where are the odds? Where are the give me the odds, man. What were the odds again? 1 times chance right now. It'll go to a 2 times and then a 4 times chance. So even after we summon 2 legendaries, it then goes to a 4 times chance. So I would need, like, to confidently summon on one of these banners to even think I'd have a chance. I'd have to bring in like definitely 35 dice, right? You want to get that legendary, that guaranteed legendary. Otherwise, once this banner disappears, you wasted 20 dice, you wasted 34 dice. You got to go 35 for the guaranteed. Or if you pull a legendary early, you could stop then. But I really feel like to summon on this, I need like 105. I need 3 guaranteed legendaries to even have a shot. Really 4 to get the 10 times chance. Still, it limits the pool. It does limit the pool of what you're going to get for sure whenever you pull a legendary. I think they're nice. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying to summon on this, I feel like I need to bring it. And 10 dice isn't going to bring it. 10 dice isn't going to bring what we need. All right, I got 20 right now, but I'm still not summoning. Plus, we got to go over to the test server and start, you know, we got to make these unkillable teams today. But yeah, I like how it limits the pool of legendaries we get for sure. And if I was missing, and I'm missing Avelius, Filto, and Zephy. And those three to me are amazing legendaries. They would go great. Enjoy season 1. It's way better than season 2. Yeah. It's kind of a repeat in season 2, right? And if you're not playing, if you're just joining us, download Dragonheir down below. You'll see the link. You can do ! Dragonheir, and you'll see the link there. Play on your PC, jump back and forth between your PC and your mobile device anytime, and then come down to our Discord. Join our Discord, which is below, so you can get a lot of help over here and chat with all these lovable, friendly people from all around the world. We've got a lot of chats here. Okay, I could do my normal team, or I could bring in a Dauntless team, which I do have leveled pretty much, right? We've got 1, 2, 3. What kind of support do I have? I still don't have Nathaniel, but lightning goes with poison. I could bring in Furbath, and then I could bring in Hexandra. No, Ogok. Furbath and Ogok. Huh. So Ogok to remove the debuff, Furbath and decrease attack, Furbath to decrease attack plus give us heals. This wouldn't be a bad team to make. I'd pretty much use the same gear, although this is enlightenment. So this gear would go on Ogok maybe? This DPS gear would go on... Yeah, I think this would be... What's his crit rate at?
They always complain the desolation of Northland.
Because I was getting better results with Horseshoe than with Eyeball. He's at 71%, plus he's going to give himself 20% additional crit rate on his moves and 20% additional attack. Did I not have anything else to give this man a little bit more crit rate? 3 more there. We're going to lose 40 critical damage, but we get a little more attack. This gets us less. Ah, he's got critical damage on. Okay, I got you. Look at that crit rate of 20. Is that the right piece?
Outlander from afar. Care to join me for a drink?
I think I do have crit rate of 20, but it's flat attack. There it is. It's flat attack, though. This would drop our attack by 480. I don't think it's worth it. I think it's better for us to have that attack, and he'd go up to 91% chance to crit, and it would be okay. And we'd have 480 more attack. It's a lot of crit. Let's do descending order crit rate. One more crit here with a lot less attack. One more crit here with a lot less attack. Oh, same one. He's got the best. He's got the best of the best on. Unless we can refine some cool stuff here. Let's try it. Accuracy, resistance. No hits. Damn, man. We can't get the luck. No streamer luck today. You need Zephy for Unkillable, so really tempting to pull? Yeah, I want Zephy for Unkillable too, and I want to try out the Unkillables today. I want to go over there and try it out. Do you know the timing for the Unkillables? I know Mac Chan did a YouTube video, and I'm going to do a follow-up YouTube video today. I'm going to do a YouTube video on Unkillables tonight, along with this stream video that we're going to post on YouTube. But I know the timing's got to be in his video because he did a video on it, so I'm sure the timing's in there. Got to be in there. I took a picture of it one time, actually on my phone, but I don't want to go look through it. It would take way too long Because somebody here in our chat told us the timing for an unkillable with those two on the Vortex boss. But I'm pretty sure we just do it. We do Zephy during the first, second, and third, and then I think we do Ogok for the last. We could actually figure it out ourselves. Hey, that one hit pretty good, right? We got 2 hits into crit rate for 10. It's still 1 less than what he's got on right now. Crit rate enlightenment. What does he have right now? He's got 12 in the crit off of 2 rolls. 2 high rolls, because this is 2 rolls for 10. All right, all right. What'd you get, buddy? What are these, the times for your unkillable? One of these is right? One of what? Oh, you're looking at the timings? Those are different teams, though. I don't even see Ogok and Zephy. What are you showing me? D or A, what is this? I don't know. I don't know what times you're showing me here. Here. Wrong picks? Yeah, those don't even have Ogok and Zephy in it, but I think we'll figure it out pretty easy. Let's just do this run right now on the Vortex boss so I can get my damage for the day, and you'll be able to see. Like here, the boss doesn't hit until the halfway point. So Zephy would go off then and block for that first ability, which hits halfway into the move, and then he would be up still that 8 seconds for this one, and then maybe for that one. We need 8 seconds to cover those 3 moves, and then Ogok would be here for the final one. I think that works. Hell Spawner, what's up, my man? How you doing today? I hope everybody's enjoying the weekend. I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to work. There's no other way to do it because he does his move immediately there. He does his move immediately on the third one, which is coming up right now. Because everything stops, does the move. And then here we just need to cover with Ogok. I don't see any other way to do it. Oh, we could do it there. Zephy could block because that one starts late. No, we need to do it here with this one. This one starts late. Boom. Zephy blocks. Blocks like 2 seconds later again on that move, and then blocks again 5 seconds later on this move. It's got to be the way. I hope. It's got to be the way. 50 summons on the banner. I just got my 4th legendary, which is Prim stuff. I don't know what's going on. That's a lot of luck. 7 out of 100. 7 legendaries. Wow. Mossma's killing it. Hey, congrats, my man. Hey, you're there in chat. That is nuts. Is she good? I have never played Primsta before. I don't like Dauntless very much. And Dauntless, when I'm talking Dauntless, I don't like Necrosis very much. And I haven't played her in the way that there would be a lot of targets out there. You know how she puts that little skull that circles around and just keeps doing damage to everybody that's around them? I think in that environment where we face her, and we don't like that either. You know, when we go up in high levels of Fae, and we keep getting that applied on our teammates, and we don't have a lot of room to move around in Fae. We're all just congested right there, and we all just keep getting hit. And something like that, I think it'd be okay. It'd be all right. Yo, Sharkbait. Sharkbait, man. Sharkbait did summons. The banner we were just looking at was Zephy. He did a summon on there, and he got in a 5 pool Avelius and Trollgar with Higio, whatever that Frostblast guy is with the top hat. Cedric. Nice. That's an insane pull, man. Congrats. How many did you summon? Did you go up to 35? Even for 35. I would do that for 35 in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat, man. If I knew out of 35 I could get 2 legendaries, I would make sure we got 35 right now and we'd go over there and do it. I'm hoping. Kind of getting late in the month. They should be giving out all of our, I'm sure that's what they're busy working on. They should be giving us new codes to give to you all. That would be 10 new codes to get the 3 legendary dice, 350 or 380 worm arrows so you can buy another one, and then the scholar scrolls. 3 scholar scrolls, right? They should be giving that out to us soon, and we can play marbles again and give that out to 20 lucky winners. If we get 20. I think we're going to get 20. I hope so. Hope we're going to get 20 again. Got to risk it for the biscuit. I don't know. I can't do it. Not on that banner. Not yet. I mean, I want Zephy. But I've got to wait for the D&D collaboration because I guarantee you, I don't know, no information has been said, but I bet it's going to be Elminster for the new D&D collaboration that they're going to have at the end of this Ardrith event. So that's coming up quick. So I don't want to waste anything until I see what Elminster is all about, see what he's about on the test server. He's going to be ranged. He's a mage, so it's not like he's going to be up close and personal like Drist is. So we don't have to worry about that melee issue. And I bet he's going to do something crazy. I bet he's just going to do something totally insane, and I want to make sure I get him. Dragon PC worked for you today? Oh, I forgot to add Dragon PC. That's the newest one I did in a YouTube video. I forgot to add it to Nightbot. While I was checking all those codes on a brand new account for that video I did yesterday, a brand new level 1, I used it, but I forgot to put it in Nightbot, even though I was here in Nightbot clearing everything out. And actually, people tell me that Dragon 77 doesn't work, but it does work. It's capital letters. I think somebody posted back and put Dragon 77 as lowercase. They got to be really careful with this case sensitive. That's capital D for Dragon, and then capital P, capital C. Submit. All right, it's added now. Codes. There we go. Dragonheirs 2, Dragon 777, Mary Xmas, and Dragon PC. Almost 300 stacks? What? That must be old though, because you can't get past 150 stacks this season. The way that they've changed the Vortex boss. But what Unkillable are you talking about? Where was that picture you posted, and where is it? Where did it go? Did you remove him? I'm not mentioning with few summons, and the event will be unattainable, I think. Yeah, it depends. I mean, the D&D collaboration is usually just like this one. We got to do, like, we had the Air 2 boss challenge we had to do, which wasn't too bad if you had a robust roster, because they maxed everybody's heroes to max level, and you couldn't even put gear on them. So that wasn't very, very hard to do, but you always have to do summons, right? Any of these events, any of the legendary events we've had, you had to do summons. Sometimes up to 60 summons. So that's why I'm saving mine. I've got 20 gold dice right now, and if I have to spend some money, if Elminster is the guy and it's that good, has been consumed. That means no longer works. What does that mean? It worked? Like you consumed it and it worked, or it no longer works? Okay, I'll take out Dragon 77. Because now I remember somebody said Dragon 77 didn't work, but when they wrote back to me on YouTube, they did lowercase Dragon 777 as how they wrote it to me. So I said that I just did it that morning. The morning that I put up that YouTube video, which was yesterday, I went onto a level 1 account and I put all those codes in, and they worked for me that exact morning. So I'm surprised that within less than 24 hours, it was no longer working. Oh, here's some stuff that he's putting up. Are you showing me Sagamir in Ardrith? How can Sagamir, Ardrith, and whatchamacallit be unkillable? Nobody's giving us unkillable on that team. Increase defense, healing, decrease attack. Huh? 270 stacks with what team? I'm missing the whole thing here. With Sagamir, what's his name? Garius, and can you see my girth build? You just want critical damage. Crit rate, critical damage, or crit rate attack as much as possible, right? Let's see what she's got. Attack percentage, chest piece, all that normal stuff you put on people who are doing damage based off of attack. So I've got her in a statue right now. We've got as much crit rate, critical damage as we can. Attack percentage with critical damage is awesome. Here we've got crit rate, critical damage. Critical damage with crit rate as a substat. And then here, more crit rate with critical damage, which is cool. Doesn't matter if this is attack or critical damage, as long as you can get that crit rate in there. And then she's got a defense one on for crit rate and critical damage and attack. A lot of good stats there. Keep her alive a little bit longer. I think she might have been dying first. I'm not sure. I think who's dying first is Bledin. I think Bledin's dying first out of them. Maybe because she has this on, so she's not dying first. But her total stats are 4,000, 81% chance to crit because she gives herself 20% chance to crit. She gives herself critical damage as well, so we get pretty high up there. She's just a beast, right? She has a low cooldown on her ultimate, and she gives herself all those stacks. Any hero that gives them like an additional crit rate, like Bledin even, to build himself easier. Bledin's kind of similar to her. Doesn't hit as hard as she does, but not too far away, to be honest with you. Because he's got 20% chance to crit on both of his abilities. He gives himself 20% additional attack. So they're kind of similar. But Bledin also enables other people to do more of their battle skill moves. What new girl? The new girl? Oh yeah, Ardrith is in the team. Yeah, but she doesn't do Unkillable either. She doesn't have anything to do with Unkillable. That's why I'm curious. But we'll try it out. We'll try it out. Am I in the right chat? No, that's content creator chat. Hold on. Yeah, keep those times up. We'll try them out. But I still don't understand what Sagamir and them, are they just putting up a lot of shields? Sagamir is getting increased turn meter. We're using Garius with the staff, and Garius is just getting up massive shields all the time. Like constantly healing and putting up shields. Is that what's happening here? We'll build it. We'll go over there and build it. Okay, we're done. I think we're done on my main account. Let's go to the test server. Oh, we do have a new one of these. Moonlight Dungeon. Challenge Goblin's Lair or Domains. I'm glad to see the clocks because my clocks are getting very low. That's a good amount of stamina. All right, I got 4 days to lock that out so we can do that. I can do that later tonight. Hey, did any of you guys see that game that I posted in? Actually, everybody's locked out. It's a closed beta test for a DC game, but I tried to get on there today with my my emulator instead of my tablet, and it wouldn't let me. It said they've reached the limit for the closed beta test that they wanted, and no more new accounts can be made. So I was a little bit sad about that. A new DC game, mobile game. I'm trying to find my stamina. Where's my stamina at? Sometimes when I'm looking for my stamina shop, stamina, there it is, 26. All right, I'm closing this down. We're going to jump on the test server. Was Kitty this team? He could, he does the first character you put on the board, no matter the stats. Right. And then they're rotating to get Garius to heal and put up shields with the big old shields because we've got Ardrith in there increasing his healing. Is that what's going on? And they were able to make it to that many stacks? That's pretty insane. Why does it say login as a... What's happening here? This is my normal test server, right? Hold on one second. Whenever I play on the test server, it doesn't come up like this. It just comes up normally with the game. Did I need to log in? I don't know what studio is making it, but you know the last DC game they came out with went to like a second beta, was a complete game ready to come out to release, and then they scrapped it. Threats detected. Suspicious network has been detected. We recommend you block it. This is from, man, I'm always getting some... I'm always getting some weird stuff with their test server. All right, display. We're going to go high. 60 frames per second. Audio. Let's turn that back on. Okay, this is the test server, correct? Okay, yeah, it is. All right. Okay, so what are we going to do first? We're going to do a couple unkillable teams. We're going to do Zephy and Ogok first. I don't know what times we need yet, but I'm pretty sure we can figure this out. If not, we can go look at Mac Chan's video because I know he did one a couple weeks ago. This has been going on for a long time, though, for months and months, even back probably before Season 1. But if I did get Zephy, since I have Ogok, I'm curious to know what these times are. Maybe some of you out there have them. And I'm curious to see what kind of damage I can get. We just saw that I got 42 million on a normal team. If I bring in the same DPS and bring in these two unkillable, it can make it to 150 stacks. What kind of damage would that be, you know? I bet it's going to be pretty nutty.
We must revere everything.
All right, the rat and the troll.
Let the fun begin.
Definitely need to have them scrolled.
No problemo. No problemo.
Yeah, I don't know what Studio Rocket. I'm not sure. And then there was another DC game that came out years ago that I was looking forward to, like really looking forward to, that looked great. There was a mobile game, and then it was only released limited in Asia. Like something went on with the licensing with it, and it was only released in Asia. And I actually played it for a little bit on an emulator. It was really cool. It wasn't Worlds. I don't believe it was Worlds Collide. It actually looked good. Are you talking about the Match 3 game that came out recently? Because I did enjoy the Match 3 game, actually. A lot more than I should have. The Match 3 DC game they came out with recently was really cool. But the one that I'm talking about that was limited release in Asia, you could run around with your heroes, and the graphics were great. And it was more of I wouldn't say it was like a Diablo style, but it was kind of like an action RPG, how you went around and fought. And I can't remember much else about it. Kind of like story-driven action RPG kind of stuff like that. But the graphics were great for its time. I don't know. This is years ago now. All right, we've got him, and we got Zephy with scrolls, correct?
Close your eyes firmly.
Correct. Now we've got to bring in some DPS to keep him alive. I would have this on my team, that on my team, and her on my team.
Everyone will eventually pay for their acts. Close your eyes firmly. Meditate. Contemplate.
I was like, how's that at 18.9 seconds without any gear? But we've got quite a bit of skill haste here. Do we even need skill haste? Has anybody done this before? I don't think anybody here in chat's done this before. If it's unkillable, do we need to worry about gear right now? Okay, so Zephy would go off then, right? And I think Ogok's gonna... Well, we need some gear to keep alive to the end here. We can't even make it to the end. Yeah, we need gear. All right. Let's stop playing around. One shot. 250k shields. Nice. That's still insane. Like 270 stacks. We'll do that one for sure. We will do that one 100% because that sounds great for Ardrith, an Ardrith video on YouTube. That sounds like a really cool one. Well, we're not really worried about decreased attack, are we? We're just trying to get... Let's go with defense. Actually, don't we have an enlightenment set? I think we do. That says all defense, not even enlightenment. His ultimate doesn't do damage. But we could use some accuracy for his battle skill. Although if we're unkillable, I don't know. I don't think we're going to need all this if we're unkillable.
Close your eyes firmly. Meditate. Contemplate. Feel the flow.
Oh, yeah. I know it wasn't unkillable. It was just massive shields. I know. I got you. It's just Garius and Ardrith. We did a video on that like 4 weeks ago when it first came out, with how big Garius's shields were with Ardrith. But getting up to 200k shields. I was getting 88k shields in the Harpy, but they weren't 200k shields. That's for sure. They were only like 88k shields. 200k is pretty damn big. That's why I was taking so long. That's why you got to so many stacks. It's pretty impressive. Definitely impressive. Enlightenment. Whatever. We'll just throw this on just to keep them alive.
When I was given a new life, I was already left with no other choice.
Hey, Outlander from
I don't even think these sets are great, but really we're not worried about the damage just yet. Vanny? Carf. Sure, this Vanny gear is good.
I only bury bodies. Souls will at last return to the sea.
Oh, there's a Bledin. There's lots of different Bledins. Where's the gear with the 15% additional damage? From a debuff going up.
Have you ever?
Okay, so if Zephy goes off, he can't go off that fast right away unless we had the hourglass on him. Oh, somebody's in here with some times already. Okay, so set Zephy at 14.5, Ogak at 26. They both reset on 20s, right? Okay, so we don't need to do anything else special with them. Let's save his team. Zephy at 14.5. So he's going to do it right before the second ability? No, third ability, right? So he's going to cover third, blast, and 14.5. Okay, let's see. 26 and 20. Zephy at 14.5, so he's going to cover third here with the decreased defense, which does go off right away, but the last ultimate doesn't go off right away. So 8 seconds. Doesn't Zephy only cover for 8 seconds? So he's going to cover here. He's going to cover there, but he won't cover for this one because this one is delayed. The first one is delayed as well. Yeah, it's all falling off. Ogak comes in right away, huh? But oh, yeah. Ogak covered those too. Because it's easy for that 5 seconds of Ogak to cover those too, because the one is so delayed. All you need is like 3 seconds and he covers that. Okay, you're right. That's nice. So that's it. Is that easy? What's up? Rasta, how you doing? Scyther, appreciate that, man. Okay, that makes it very easy. So what kind of gear? We just showed somebody my girth. We showed the gear that I had on her. So I'm curious if I had an unkillable, what kind of damage I could get as opposed to the regular team that I have right now. So we had this on her. We had her at like 200% critical damage. We had her in a 81% chance to crit. I remember that. on my main account. Crit rate. We had her like this, but way more critical. We had critical damage gloves. Crit rate substats. Okay, that looks good enough. But we didn't have her in the Emperor set. We had her in the Inventor set. Okay, we had her in the Inventor set, so she got critical damage there. Let's go with crit rate. Okay, this low on the crit rate. We got a good crit rate there. Why are we so low on the crit rate? All this stuff has like maximum crit rate. Because we took her off of crit rate gloves, critical damage. How am I doing so well on my other account? It's crazy. All we need to do is get to 80% or 81%. But how did I do so well? These are like 13s. Crit 13, 13, 7. Oh, you know what? I can pull up my account. Hold on. I'm just curious how strong Unkillable is, and I can't compare it to anything unless I kind of make my same damage team over here, and then I can compare it to what I've been running and get an idea of how strong this actually is. Like, is it still worth building Unkillable now, even though I'm getting all that additional damage for a 5-team bonus for my ice? Just one more minute. Okay. Challenge again, yes. Okay, so my girl, Girthin on my main account, is rocking 81% chance to crit, 241 critical damage, and 4,000 attack. Man, I got some good gear on her. I got 16 crit rate on her chest piece, 9, 33 critical damage there, 9, and crit rate at 10. I don't see how she's getting the kind of crit rate. How is her crit rate so high? What kind of cheatery stuff is she doing? 9 plus. Created 10. Okay. On my ice team, 42 million. We just ran it. We just ran my normal ice team over on my main account for 42 million. So I'm thinking this is going to get more than that. But I don't understand how I've got 13, 13. She's got critical damage gloves too. 9, which is 9. Oh, there's no crit rate on this. This is why. $79. There we go. Crit rate of 12. She's still, like, my main account must have some insane gear. 241 critical damage. That's nuts. All right, we're looking for crit rate, critical damage on this set. Okay, that's nice. She's already got that on. She's already got that one on. This would lower. Okay. What about for this? Well, one more critical damage, a lot less crit rate. It's funny that this test server gear is worse than my main account gear. That's weird. And none here. Ooh, that's nice. Still close. This is close. We've got more attack here, a lot more attack. Where are we getting all that attack from?
When I was given a new life, I was already left with no other choice.
Attack substat there, 70. Attack here on these two. This is a crazy piece. Look at that. Flat attack percentage, crit rate, critical damage. Attack speed at 23%. All right. I think this is stronger than my account, but we'll roll with it. It's pretty close. Pretty close to what I've got. My Bledin has 4,071% chance to crit, 192 critical damage. He's in critical damage gloves as well. Yeah, critical damage gloves.
Hey, Outlander.
And he's rocking the eyeball.
Care to join me for a drink?
$192, 72. So same crit. He's got a lot more attack here and a lot more, and like 20 more critical damage. So he's doing way more. All right, we get rid of this. %, chance. We brought his attack down. I thought we brought his attack down. Man, this isn't helping out at all. What's he got for rune? Okay. We're going to go critical damage. This is rare. 74, 218, 4,000. Okay, this is closer. Still a little bit stronger, but very, very close. And now Shinna. She's got pretty much the same gear, I think. Crit rate. She's got crit rate on here. Accuracy. Defense. Oh, my Girthin has defense on too. That won't matter with an unkillable team.
Have you ever been to the deep? It's a realm of darkness not even light can reach.
63, 78, and 325. Okay. Let's go. All right, here goes the unkillable. Let's see what kind of damage we get. We're going to go to 125 stacks, right? What are we doing, Stu? Blood sample, what's up? We're making an unkillable team with Zephy and Ogok. And seeing if making it to 120 stacks, 150 stacks, I think, is the max to where he cuts through this, is going to do more damage, which I think it should. Do more damage than my team that I'm currently running. 150 stacks. Yeah, I'm thinking 150 stacks is going to do more damage. Even without the elemental advantage that we're getting right now on my main account. My main account has it all the way out for Ice Blast. Or for Radiant and Frost. But I only make it to 42 million, which I think is like 50 stacks. 50 something stacks. It's not crazy. So I know if we can go to 150, we got to do more damage, right? Even without all those other damage multipliers? Yeah, how long is it going to take to get to 150 stacks? Like what's the time going to take? We've got 20 minutes to fight the boss. Yo, Midnight, how you doing? Welcome. I think it goes to 10 stacks. Oh, it jumps up quick, you're saying? The stacks jump up really quickly? Okay, so it might not be that much damage, right? It might not. We're only at 3 stacks and we're getting 5 million. Now, the gear I do have on Bledin and on Girthin is a little bit better than mine. I tried to get as close as I could to them, but they do have maybe 100 and something more attack and a little bit more critical damage. And it adds up. On a long fight like this, it adds up. Every little bit of attack you can squeeze, or critical damage you can squeeze in there, makes a big difference. Are we getting decreased defense? I'm not seeing decreased defense go up for our Witch's Remains. Is Witch's Remains on? Yeah, there it is. Something just went on. Who's it on? All right, Shin is about to attack. If it doesn't go up with her, then something's wrong. Okay, we're good. We're good. Oh, those are the turns? So how many total turns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. $24? 24 rounds total of damage? Is that right? I was counting all those numbers. 24 rounds of total damage. I don't know. We're about to see. We're already at 12 million. We're still a far cry away from my 42 million. I mean, obviously early on, like in the first month, this is amazing. First month for you to get high damage and not have to worry about too much going on, and for you to cheese out a lot of dungeons, this should be pretty good. You got any times? Hey, Scyther, do you have any times for dungeons? And with Ancient Battlefield, how do you set this up? Like, how are we going to do it with Ancient Battlefield with him removing the buffs? Are we going to throw up like an Unkillable right after we're smacked with that ultimate and then throw up something as long as that ultimate doesn't kill us? How are we going to set it up for that? Pretty easy to set up, I think, for Heretical Runes. Pretty easy to set up for the rest of them, but what about Ancient? I haven't checked it out on Ancient yet. Yeah, I wonder what Ancient is like, if it's possible. Because all we have to worry about is the ultimate. The second ability, the Ancient Battlefield says removes buffs and gets a stack. He doesn't. He only does it on his ultimate, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we could do, because we could still die to that big smack, even if we put something up immediately. That one drop down, if we don't have the buffs removed, yeah, you can still die to that really easily. But does he remove the stacks after he does that initial damage? Does he remove the buffs after he does that initial damage? Even then, how are we going to survive this subsequent hits of him hitting the ground? Shield, 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 shield. Just don't have the same drive. I feel you, man. I'm hoping for some really cool changes for Season 3 and some kind of a reevaluation of how they're going to handle seasons. I'm really hoping for it. I think the game is beautiful. I love the gameplay. Like, I'm really surprised that I love the gameplay so much. As far as, because I'm really a real traditional turn-based gacha game player. Summoner's War, Epic 7, you know, Raid Shadow Legends, any kind of game that you can think of. There's been 100 of them that have come out in all those years. I love the traditional turn base. But this game, this combat, I really like this combat, honestly. And I want them to build upon this and make it better. I've got so many ideas that I think that they could, not that they need to use my ideas. I've just got so many thoughts of ways that you could make it with heroes that have 2 different elements that are special, like the Dungeons and Dragons ones. We've got other ways to do different moves that only work. Like, it doesn't even have to be a diamond shape. What if you have guys that have moves in like different shapes and different spreads, like chess kind of thing, you know? I just feel like there's a lot of clever ways you could build upon stuff here. And they're doing a great job with the characters' abilities, the characters' animations, and it's just the other stuff, you know, kind of kills motivation to play. By not doing a second selector box? Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do that or not. I just asked for a follow-up on that. Are they going to do another selector box or not? I asked for a follow-up on that after Ivy Lee asked yesterday, but it is the weekend, so it might take some time. It might take a few days before we get a response. They need to check with the team. I'm just hoping they'll come back and say, hey, yeah, we see this, and we're going to check on it. So we're at 50 stacks right now. So 50, you know, I'd be dead by now. But we'd be at 42 million already. I'd be dead, but we'd be at 42 million. We're not dead, and we're only at 30 million. So I don't know. It's gonna pick up here quickly. It's gonna go. We still got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 10 more rounds still. 9 or 10 more rounds of damage. But if we don't ever have to worry about dying, we could do things to try to pump out more damage out of every hero we have. Obviously, Ogok and Zephy would be whatever we can do to get them to do more damage. We would put that on them every little bit. With all of our heroes. Now before on season 1, you could go all the way to timeout, right? They didn't have this mechanic on the boss. You could just go all the way to the time expired, which that would be crazy. Was he always like, I don't remember the Vortex boss. Didn't they add that kind of for season 2? I'm sure it's throughout season 1 as well. I'm sure they changed it in the game update to affect everyone. But back in season, like when the game launched, I guess you could go all the way till this time ran out. 90. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left. We need to ramp up this damage. It needs to ramp up a lot to get to 42 million. Come on, we're close. Might be a wash. But early game, like if I had this through the first month of season 1, I could have been doing way more damage starting out. And I think that's what a lot of people use it for. That's what it's for, right? To start out. When you're starting that first month, things are hard. You just cheese it all out until your team is strong enough. Cheese all the dungeons like the Harpy and everything else until your team gets all that great gear. And then you can move away from this. 10. 4 left. Yeah, it's about the same damage. Just need a little tweaking for what now? The game in general, you're saying? Yeah, they're improving it all the time, though. They really are. Rounds. All right, 2 more rounds after this, and we've made the damage that we got on my normal account. But these people are a little bit stronger, like I said. Just a little bit stronger. And I know on my main account, I can make them stronger. If I don't have to worry about them dying early, I can definitely make them stronger on my main. So I think it's kind of a wash at this point. And I don't have 15% less damage taken by the affinity. I've only got 5%. I didn't go all the way to 15. I've started putting points into getting more damage from all the other elements. Still more damage, though. A little bit more, yeah. But poison and lightning are an element right now, right? They're the combined elements. $46 million. $3 and Thunderbolts would be not Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt are terrible on the boss. Thunderbolt are terrible against like a single target. They're not great. But if we could have if you had the exclusive Thunderbolt, but since Poison and Lightning are together, if you came in here with a Dauntless team and you had Dauntless fully maxed out, it would be nutty. I would think it'd be really insane. Just to have the Unkillable the whole entire time. Plus you're getting your 5-team bonus. I mean, why not? It would be pretty ridiculous if you brought in legendaries like this. Jinka. Velius. Like say you brought in Saravul, Neschinka, and Avelius. and you just have them go ham, like just straight crazy damage. I'm sure it's got to be. You got to have somebody in here with Witch's Remains. Unfortunately, we can't. You know, if one of these guys had like a 3-hit ultimate that did whatever craziness they're doing right now plus damage. But I'm surprised I don't see teams like this on my server, like my current server, because this week is more damage for Dauntless because you get all that attack speed, and buffs give you additional regens. So I'm sure this week with Dauntless, if you had this team, it would, not necessarily these DPSers, but if you had Ogok and Zephy and you had it maxed out, you could be playing them together. You have the exclusive Thunderbolt. Yeah, I don't know what the exclusive Thunderbolt's going to do here. He's not going to get enough overwhelmed stacks. Maybe if you have her in there, or it's not really about Thunderbolt at this point. At this point, you just need to get a whole bunch of electrocutes up. So maybe if we have these guys applying enough electrocutes before he does his ultimate, like every ultimate rotation for a perk, we got to get a whole bunch of applied electrocutes. And then we'll get these overwhelmed stacks. And if we can get these overwhelmed stacks up high enough to 20 stacks, then yeah, he's going to do a lot of damage. In general, I don't know if he's going to do a lot of damage to this boss, but yeah, he'll do a lot of damage. Who do we have to apply Witch's... she'll apply it, right? Will this thing apply Witch's Remains? It should. This guy applies a lot of electrocutes, though. Do you have him?
I live for the slaughter.
All level 100. Booked, yes. Booked, yes. What's going on? Does the Vortex boss? He does. He cuts through it at 150 stacks.
I live for the slaughter.
So we need accuracy on these guys, though, right? We need accuracy on these two.
I live for the slaughter. Why waste your work?
The day I relinquished my physical body, glory ceased to be my concern. Only
If you had a second chance at life, what would you most like to change?
the day I relinquished
Oh,
my
I'm still muted? Yeah, so sorry. Whenever I cough, I mute myself. Then I thought I was back. I thought I unmuted myself, but I didn't. Okay, so I was just talking about saving gear and putting the gear back on. I was just mumbling about stuff. Welcome back, everybody. Do you think they're best DPS in Season 1? Who do you think is the best DPS in Season 1? For what situation? There are a lot of good DPSers, and there are a lot of good DPSers for different things like the Vortex boss, going through Fae, going through dungeons. Who, like overall DPS? I don't know. What do you guys think is like the overall best DPS for dungeons? To help you out with dungeons. I think Varesh is a great support DPS. He's not going to go in there and blow it up. But as far as like all dungeons, if you're going through something where you need to block healing. I don't remember in season 1 for lightning. That was the lightning Tempest Domain. Like if you're going through Tempest Domain and you want to block regions and take off regions, if you want to use Varesh to hit up the Harpy along with all the wisps, if you want to hit everything to get up Witch's Remains or decrease defense up for heretical runes, Varesh is insane for that. And if you want to use him in Ancient Battlefield to block the buffs that he gets up and remove the buffs, as well as Curse, Grave of Curse to remove the buffs and block the buffs. He's insane. And then Sigrid is disgustingly good in all content for decreased attack, tons of damage, and heal block. You have to do a giveaway. What kind of giveaway? Your mom just suggested it. What? Oh, my woman. Okay. Your woman. I was like your mom. I was about to be like, how old are you, man? What are you talking about? I know you're not chilling with your mom every day. Watching my stream. My woman. Yeah. But I feel like this is a mistake. I was using that for the tracker. What's going on with the tracker? What do you mean? There are a lot of different guys that will do a lot of damage for you. And once you start getting toward end game and you have your elemental affinity maxed out to where you're doing additional damage and you're taking 15% less, there's a lot of speed teams you can use. Like then you don't have to worry about surviving so much. You can come in there and just blow it up, right? You're just going to do as much damage as possible quickly and you're not going to have to worry about defense. But there's a big transition in season 1 from starting out with nothing, struggling, trying to get through content slowly, but making sure you can get through it. But you're going through like a tank build, very tanky to get through it. Then you start to transition into more and more damage, less worrying about being so tanky, making through faster and faster. And then by the end of the season, you're just kind of blowing through content. But there are so many heroes that excel at damage like Total Nan. There's so many legendaries that excel at damage. You've got like Auster and stuff. A lot of the Dauntless ones. It just really depends on what you got. I don't know about an overall like one hero that you just blows up everything. Now there are special heroes like Lothair that if there are a lot of poisons up can blow up those poisons and you can, and Jathalee, is that her name? If there's a lot of poisons up, she can blow them up and you can do speed runs through content. I've seen some like 15-second speed runs through Grave of Curse and a lot of the other dungeons where they've used those kind of legendaries to do it. But it's kind of hard to pick. Like, I don't know. I know for season 1, I did use Sigrid for everything. Like I used her to blow up everybody in Arena. I used her to blow up Fae Meander. I used her in every single dungeon you could think of. There was not a place where I did not use Sigrid in season 1. And I could still do that here in season 2, but season 2 is much easier. There's not the struggle in season 2 if you have a robust account. You can level up your artifacts pretty quickly because we unlocked rank 3. The like weekly dungeons are easier. They're not at 240 difficulty. They're at 170 max, so they're much easier. Everything's pretty easier now, you know, on season 2. It's not very, you just kind of slap your gear on, you wait till your adventure rank is high enough, and then you just start blasting through content. 88. Crit rate of 13, crit rate of 13, plenty of crit rate there. Of 1225. Where are we missing crit rate at? 4. 9. Okay, let's get some more here. 8. 9. That's a lot of skill haste. All right, we'll just leave him at 93. We're not going to make him, we won't make him totally crazy, you know? Good enough. And then her, we're going to put on the gear that we had on Shinna, right? How's your mom doing? Am I muted still? I'm not muted, right? Okay. Attack percentage. There we go. Witch's Remains. She should apply this. More attack with accuracy. Yeah, Yagnat's great. All right, 343. This is it. This is the team. Now we need to save this on a new squad. 4 would be IV, right? No. Cancel that. And then we had 14, 5, and what? 14, 5, and 26. Yep. Ready to go. Now, the elemental advantage I have on the test server isn't all the way maxed out. And I still don't want to max it out because I don't know if people have, you know, it's not the final row isn't maxed out. But if you had this team, like if you had Ogok and Zephy this whole season 2, you would have it maxed out. You would have been using them so much, and you would be using some kind of a Dauntless team with them that I'm sure you'd have that end part maxed out. But what is their advantage for that? Because this season it didn't seem like those. Some of them didn't seem that great. Especially, was this the one where you needed to kill somebody to get an advantage? Burn wasn't that bad. Fire wasn't that bad. I think you just had to deal damage to get an additional damage bonus. Let's see. Lightning poison. Heroes kill an enemy, the damage dealt to allies is increased. For each enemy killed, 5 stacks. Yeah, so that's, you know, this isn't going to do anything for us on the Vortex boss actually at all. Whereas fire and necrosis, heroes dealing damage using a skill, the hero attack is increased by 7.5% for each enemy damaged. Lasting 20 seconds, stacks up to 6 times. So necrosis and fire are fine on the Vortex, but honestly, this has been no help at all. Lightning poison sucks for that bonus. It's kind of sad. Stu, have you ever excelled with some tier list? What's going on? Do you have an Excel with some tier list? I do have an Excel with some tier list on it. Let's see. But I probably need to go recipes. It's right here. Did I not spell that right? There it is. That tier list, that Excel spreadsheet has a whole bunch of tier lists, a whole bunch of rares, epics, and legendaries on there. Now, since we've been into season 2, I haven't done like a real season 2 one. Haven't had the time to really go back and go through all this stuff. But if they were good in season 1, like top tier in season 1, then they're going to be top tier in season 2. I mean, they're still going to be great heroes. Have been running 200 million since Vortex 3 opened using Dauntless. Yeah, my server too. They just have their Dauntless with full inspired, and all they use is Dauntless over and over. No matter what week, no matter what everything, it's just always their Dauntless team. But we've got, this isn't Dauntless, this is a Thunderbolt team. And I haven't even been paying attention to how many overwhelm stacks Perk is getting over here. He's only at 7 right now. So really not that many. He's at 9. He's not getting anywhere near his 20 max stacks. We're just not applying. I mean, and that's the problem with Thunderbolt. They just don't apply enough electrocutes often enough. But this lizard should be doing quite well. I think his accuracy is high enough. And Nissa should, on her ultimate, well, her little, yeah, I can see it out there. Her little robot thing that spins around should be applying it quite often too. Why is there orb off to the side? Okay, I see decreased defense there from the lower version. But is Witch's Remains proccing off of this? That right there. Is it even hitting this guy? It has to be. It centers on the target.
My power outstrips your wild imagination.
I don't think we're getting Witch's Remains applied at all. Ice Blast beating that out? You were hoping to see Ice Blast beating it out? I guess not. I don't know. I guess they don't beat it out. Unless you have the exclusive with the exclusive artifact, and even then, I guess not. Otherwise, I'm sure there's whales out there with all of that. Sure, there's whales with the exclusive Beldel and her artifact. All right, where is she?
Hey, need a hand?
Yeah, she's got plenty of accuracy.
Our attack is
343 plus 50. If she doesn't apply it, this will be the first ultimate that I've seen that pulses like this and that does not apply it. That would be really bad. Is it only derivative? Does it only do derivative damage? Is that why? If it only does derivative, it will not proc, which is remains. Yeah, it's not. It's not doing damage. Like this ultimate does not do any damage. It makes this passive elemental mechanical thing do damage. Targets enemy, instructing the mechanical creature to follow the target, initiate an electrical field. Well, that sucks. Okay, so she cannot use Witch's Remains. Is he a terrible tank? No, do I think she's a terrible tank? Yeah, she's not really a tank. She's not a tank at all. She's a healer, a debuff remover, and she does better with Enlightenment. So even with a defense percentage glove, flat defense rune on the right-hand side, if you put Enlightenment chest on her, Enlightenment rune on her, she's awesome, but she's not a tank. She's not terrible. I think she's awesome. I think she's amazing. She's an amazing healer and amazing debuffer and block debuffs, but she's not a tank. Oh, this girl Nissa is yeah. This is a worthless champion. She's something, I don't know, man. I just don't know how to play her. We've tried so many ways to make her work, to do damage, and to do well, and it just does not happen. And again, single target versus electrocute isn't really the way to go. We want multiple targets out there with all of them having electrocute on and doing that electrocute link to it, but there's nowhere in the game where we take advantage of that. If we had a Vortex boss that had two side minions that always stayed up the whole entire time, and we could utilize more AoE, then somebody like her would be cool. We could have electrocute out on all three targets. They'd have that link going on. Anytime we did damage, they would all get electrocuted. Like each of those three electrocutions every 4 seconds would make everybody take triple the damage because there's three. But we just don't have anywhere where we could use that. Goblins, we kill them quick. Fae, we're not worried about trying to do like long sustained damage with electrocute on. We're trying to kill people in Fae so we can go to the next floor and survive and make it. There's just nowhere we'd use this type of hero. Well, if we can't have it on her, who are we going to put it on? We can't even put it on the other epic Thunderbolt because she just tells her little pets to do damage too. We can't put it on her. I've never even really looked at the two melee ones because they're melee. I'm sure we did when they first came out, but now I cannot remember what they even do because they weren't even applying electrocute very much. Thunderbolt, there we go.
The Elven Tower is magnificent. I wish to guard it for eternity.
He only hits one time.
Powerful warrior too. Not some cannon fodder.
Okay, he only hits one time. Sweet. All right, so scrap all those guys. Let's just bring in somebody like who? Somebody in lightning, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't even make any sense now. We've got nobody for Thunderbolt to apply Witch's Remains. Like no one. It's kind of bad, right? 1 damage hit. The other one was the same way. 1 damage hit. This guy only hits 1 time. No, I mean we have people in lightning that not Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt's a different class of like Thunderbolt are these heroes right here. Yeah, we've got people in lightning, but we have nobody Thunderbolt wise to apply electrocute to get his overwhelm stacks up higher, perks overwhelm stacks up higher. And then also do a multi-hit on that ultimate so that they can apply Witch's Remains. Because this guy only hits once. Once. This girl doesn't even hit with her ultimate. She tells her little dudes to attack more. Her turrets that she puts up. That's it. And she doesn't work. Because she's telling her little thing to do additional damage. It's not actually her doing damage. Hits twice. Man, they didn't think this one through. I don't think they did a good job of thinking Thunderbolt through.
I like the curiosity in your
We could throw Nimbus in there. I don't know. I don't think this is gonna do well. Again, Thunderbolt is not for Vortex boss. So who was asking about this? I think I was asking about this, but we were talking about a Dauntless team with these two would be great. But Thunderbolt with these two, I don't think this is going to work out. And I know it's sad because you want to play the new stuff, right? I do too. The new things look cool. All the new stuff always looks cool. So we want to try out the new, the new stuff. We want to try to find a way to make it work, but unfortunately, it just is not it. Really not it. There's better options we could have done, but we had him leveled up and we're just throwing it in here because I don't think this is going to do anything extraordinary. We got, that's it. Nothing good. And balancing to win. I want to see some balancing. I think it's very much needed. I think it would make things more interesting, especially if you balanced mid-season. And we've got teams that we're working on. We've got stuff that we've done a lot of testing with. So right now, if you just kind of flipped everything up, you wouldn't be flipping it all up on its side. But if you went out there and you say you took like 20 underused heroes and you did some kind of revisions with them, definitely a whole bunch of legendaries that are not utilized, that just don't work well, and tweak them just a little bit, nothing crazy, I think it would make it for like a lot of people logging in and trying out some new heroes and finding some cool new combinations. And if you did that every mid-season, I think it would switch it up enough that it would be pretty fun. Hellspawner, he said poor you because you pulled the legendary. Is it Nissa or Nessa? Is she the E one or the I one? Nissa? Yeah, you pulled her. We were just trying to use her, and we can't even use her for her ultimate. Her ultimate cannot apply Witch's Remains because she's telling her robot to go out there and do damage, and it's not like her doing damage. She just won't apply it. So with that multi-hit on her ultimate, we can't even use her. We can't even use her for something like that, which would have been actually okay, because she's out there pulsing. She's hitting maybe multiple targets, trying to put up Witch's Remains, and I think that would have been pretty decent. I mean, she's still terrible, but at least it would have been something to bring her up a little bit more. Okay, so now we've only got the lizard in here to try to get us some additional overwhelm stacks. So Perk is only gonna, I mean, he's not gonna get very many before he does his ultimate. He's only got 3 on right now to increase his damage. And we don't have any accuracy on him himself, so he's not trying to apply any. Yeah, this is not good. Not meant for the Vortex boss. So sad. So incredibly sad. Do you think we'll do more damage with our other team? Probably with the Ice Blast, the Ice Blast team will probably do more damage, I would guess. We could at least have Perk go after the lizard. So he can try to apply a few more electrocutes before our guy goes off. Our exclusive. They're kind of going at the same time. And we don't have enlightenment on our lizard either, trying to get damage from enlightenment out of him, which we should. We forgot about that. We put the same gear that we had on Bledin on him, but what we need is enlightenment chest piece, enlightenment substats, crit rate, critical damage, but enlightenment as well. At least enlightenment on the rune, left side, and the chest. Total Nan? Yeah, she's amazing. What are you talking about? I thought the crit damage stacks were rolling, not permanent. Yeah, they're permanent. And plus you get a 20% additional crit rate. Any hero that you see out there that can give you an additional crit rate of like 20%, and then if they give you additional critical damage, they're going to be nuts. Always, always. Total Nan is a beast. Will out damage a lot of legendaries for single target damage. Even if we gave a rare with 20% crit and 100% additional critical damage, it would do nuts. It'd be cool to see a Total Nan, like a legendary version of Total Nan. But that's why Bledin and Girthin do so well too, because they get that crit damage, they get critical damage increase. Bledin gets an attack increase along with his additional crit rate. Girthin gets the critical damage. They just, you know, overall can do more damage. Plus they're doing their battle skills over and over too, so that makes it really cool. But I don't get what they were trying to do with Thunderbolt. I kind of can see with Burn, right? With Burn, we can see that there's a lot of heroes that do AoE damage, apply a lot of burns, all the way from rare to epic to legendary. But with Thunderbolt, the frequency that they apply electrocute isn't very often on the rare and on the epic, the two epics we have. The legendaries don't even apply them that often. And especially not to multiple targets, like all the time. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. And then we've got to get so many stacks with this exclusive that since they're not applying it that often, he can't get up to crazy stacks. Not that easily. There'd have to be a lot of targets out there. And then again, what game mode do we use that in? Just Goblin? That's it? Yay? Goblins? Urzilis any good? I don't think any of the summons are good. I'm not a summon lover, but I've never really... The only time I've ever played summons was when we had to do the in-game boss and I needed to make a team, another team, just like another team from all the heroes I had, and I had a lot of summons. I even have Liliwanus, which is an exclusive legendary, harder to get than the other legendaries, and she's pretty powerful. If there's a lot of undead summons out there, she'll sacrifice them all to ramp up her damage. She'll do a lot of damage. So I was using her on a team with Urzilis, with Liliwanus, but Urzilis in general, summons in general, just don't do well because we don't have any way to take care of the situation that we're fighting. Like say we're in a dungeon and we needed to go overcome the mechanics in that dungeon. Summons don't have any way to overcome those mechanics. And a lot of times in some of those dungeons, like Grave of Curse, where he hits multiple targets and gets a big shield, you've got more targets than for him to hit to get bigger shields. And the Phoenix, I guess as long as you had like decreased attack ready to go for when the boss does its ultimate, a way to remove the debuffs, you could use summons in there as damage. There's just not a lot of good places. Ancient Battlefield, the boss just smacks the ground, so you know your undeads are going to die all the time, which is okay because they're coming back quite often too. So I don't know how they'd function there. But if the undead get some kind of buff like an attack buff, because a lot of those summoners give their undead heroes some kind of additional like attack or attack speed. That wouldn't be good in Ancient Battlefield. Grave of Rot, I don't see why you'd bring them in there. You could as damage, but they're just not it. That's why we need the revision, right? That's why we need balancing. And balancing isn't just like to bring, you know, go back and use those, go back and use, you know, redo some of those heroes like that aren't utilized. If you see in season 1 that nobody's really using summons to do anything, then go back and do something with summons, right? Help us out here. I don't like having all these poisons that I don't use. Make poison debuff good. I don't like having rally for rare rallies and epic rallies that just don't work well together. Go back and tweak the rally guys a little bit so that those rares and epics will work better, for where rally isn't only used if you have the right legendaries, that kind of stuff, you know? And it's easy things. It's easy stuff if you play the game. You can see, okay, I've got these rare rallies that will give rally to somebody else, but they'll give it to anybody on the team, regardless of whether they're a rally hero or not. Plus, rally falls off before I'm even able to use it. Make it stay on like Ice Blast stays on. Help us out with rally. Then we've got some new things we can play around with. Give a lot of rally heroes decrease attack, heal block, all those kind of things. Remove buffs. Same thing with the summons guys. Give something to where the summons, since the summons don't stay alive that often and they fall over pretty easy, but we're resummoning them quite often, make the summons do something like decrease attack. Then it wouldn't be overpowered. We wouldn't have the summoner itself always applying decreased attack when we need it. It would be out there on the summons. And then maybe we could use them going through Fae, and the summons would run up, apply decreased attack to everybody, or try to stun them so often. You know, make the summons more interesting than just, hey, they're there to smack for a little bit and get beat down. Yeah, you know, make the game fun, right? You want to make it fun and interesting. Do something where we can blow up summons maybe. And we have them out there, and we, you know, that one summoner blows up his own summons and it does some kind of like AoE stun with it. Yeah, this was low damage. Really low damage. And the fact that if you don't do it soon enough, I mean, what are we going to be looking at? Like, if you don't go back and do this kind of stuff, by the time we get to season 5 and 6 and 7, we're going to have a whole bunch of heroes that they just never went back and did anything with. And I don't think that's healthy. I don't think that's healthy at all. And that's not to say that they might have something behind the scenes right now where they're doing a whole bunch of balancing that we don't know about, and they're going to come out with in the next couple of weeks. I have no idea. They haven't told us anything, so we don't know. So that's why we're just always speculating and wishing. But look at this hero here. This is a perfect example of they need to balance badly and they need to be on top of their game. This guy has been broken since beta, multiple betas, where he summons this pet when he zones in, and then once his pet dies, it never comes back. This guy is built all around having a pet out. Like, everything he does is basically rare tier damage. Even if its pet's out 24/7, it's still rare tier damage. But being that this pet comes out and dies right away because it sucks, he can no longer then do his ultimate ability where he hits for 360% of attack, and then his pet hits for 360% of attack, which is total, 720, which isn't that great. 720 in a 3x3 is okay. 720 in a diamond shaped for epic would be normal and standard. But his pet has to be alive to do that. Not happening. It's still a 3x3. Here he gives allies a buff, right? Just one buff to one person, really. And his pet's dead, so he can't give the pet the buff, so he gives the buff to himself. And it's crazy. Like, I don't even get it. How do you even have this epic, if you can call him that, really is like a common, in your game still from beta, and you haven't gone in and at least made it to where this guy recast this pet? Like on this ability here, every 10 seconds, if your pet is dead, he recasts that pet. I mean, that's an easy fix to at least be like, okay, if somebody pulled him, they could play him. I don't know, it's just wild. When you have stuff like this happen, I get worried. I get really worried, and it sucks. Like the biggest concern is that it really sucks that if you're a brand new player and this is your first epic and you don't have that many epics, maybe you're free to play or low spender, you had bad luck, and you pull this dude, you're going to want to try him out. You don't go on to YouTube. You don't go on to, you know, Discord and all that kind of stuff. You're just an average player. You pull this guy. He could look cool. If he was stronger, he would look cool, right? Heroes that are good actually look better. Honestly, that's just the way it is. So if this guy was strong, he would look awesome. I mean, he looks pretty cool with the big headdress and stuff. Honestly, he could have multiple of these. He could have like 2 of these out at a time. That would make his damage go up to like 1,000 if they were out, and it's on a 3x3. It's not a diamond, so that 1,000 additional, that 1,000 total damage would be fine in a 3x3. And he could have 2 out that he could boost to do more attack. But man, that's what's frustrating. I think that's the most frustrating thing for me, is when you have heroes like that and you don't constantly balance. And then when you did balance in season 1, you didn't touch that guy. I get worried. My 3 legendaries I pulled, there'll be a few flavor of 3 1 element. Past flavors are abandoned. I don't know. Well, we still use wild. I think wild in most cases are better than burn. Wild heroes. Burn is nice for AoE damage. Karf is good because he's got 3 hits on that ultimate. If Karf only had 1 hit on his ultimate and he couldn't apply Witch's Remains, I think he would be a lot less used, you know? But you could always have somebody else apply Witch's Remains for the decreased defense and then have Karf follow up. I think he's good for AoE damage. I think he has good multipliers, and as far as AoE damage goes, he does really well for that. More damage than Varesh for sure to hit the whole entire board, since we don't have a lot of heroes that hit the whole entire board. That was a good addition. Durham, damage dealer that gives buffs to your burns. I don't know if it's needed. We have a lot of heroes we can do damage with. It's good that we have it. It's always cool to have additional heroes. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't leave behind last season's heroes because Durham's here. You know, I would still use somebody like Jorn is still amazing. Holdork is cool in certain situations. Wilds like Felicity, they're all single target though. Like Wilds are all single target. Burns are pretty much AoE. Is where the distinction is. And I guess it's good that we have that. I mean, I'm glad we have it. It's always good to have options. But then we come down to the Thunderbolt that we were just working on. And Dauntless is kind of the same thing. Dauntless is a lot of good single target damage. Crazy single target damage where they don't have a lot of AoE. And I think Thunderbolt is supposed to be that AoE answer, but not with the Thunderbolts they put out here, because this is single target and she doesn't apply it that often. He's melee. He does have like a good like half little diamond shaped cleave. And then this rare is melee and he's not really doing much either, so nobody uses those. The exclusive is cool, but he's an exclusive, so he's hard to get. So I don't really feel like they did well with that. And then Ice Blast is sweet, right? I feel like Ice Blast was the coolest one because we did have AoE here, right? We had a lot of AoE in Frost, and we were missing that single target damage, and they really brought the single target damage, and they did it well. And they brought out a lot of heroes for it too. I feel like Nord is usable because he gives the ice crystals to everyone on his, just from him doing damage. So he'll get a lot of ice crystals. He'll enable other people to do more damage. So I don't think Nord is that bad as a rare. Bledin is awesome as an epic. Girthin is awesome as an epic. He's okay as an epic. Kind of similar damage. He's just got like, he's the only one with like a little 3x3 AoE. And then the legendaries are great, except for this guy.
Listen attentively to the
Unfortunately, I don't know what's going on with this guy. I've played him a lot in so many different specs, so many different artifacts, and he just does not pull his weight. He just falls behind even Bledin. And Bledin can enable everybody as well, just like this guy can do. And even though this guy's giving 40% additional damage to the team, he still doesn't pull his weight. I don't know why people use the Warrack. I stopped using him on my legend. I stopped using him on my Vortex team, and I'm getting more damage with Bledin. And I have him fully scrolled on my main account. Fully scrolled. A legendary artifact to give more damage for... Yeah, that's crazy too, because I'm using a legendary artifact. The further away he is, he does more damage with the derivative damage. He has really high attack with that legendary artifact. Attack and attack percentage. I mean, I'm using crazy stuff on this guy. The right equipment to ignore defense, much enlightenment, as much attack as possible. And still, even with that 40% damage boost, him sharing his passive, it's just not it. I don't know, it's weird. I don't feel like he was play tested well. If he was like a Shaltar, this guy would be great. If he could be a legendary version Shaltar, he would be great. But it sucks when you get a legendary that just does not pull its weight. And I guess that can be said with not a lot of legendaries, but some of them. Like, I feel like Auster is awesome. Single target AoE damage, great. Applies a lot of frost. Lucian is a crazy cool hero. Not necessarily like a tank, but he's really cool. With the low ultimate speed. 16 seconds to do his ultimate. Recharge speed penalty. Charging the person. In PvP, I really like him. He's awesome. Licinia, awesome AoE damage. Awesome damage. Vinyara has her places with knocking back the ultimate. She can't be stunned, right? She can't be crowd controlled. The shields, the decreased attack. Hivitar, you know, is awesome. Urion's got it. Awesome stuff. I mean, most of these guys are actually really good. There's few legendaries that are... Who were you saying earlier? Like, what's a legendary that's ultimately... that's really trash? These are all good. I'm really not a big fan of Rash, but he can do damage. I've played him on my main and have him fully scrolled. He can do damage, so he's got a place with a wild team. He does. Tolwar, you're not a fan of Tolwar? I think they just need to make Tolwar... They need to do something about his provoking mushroom. The range on it isn't big enough. I think that's a big problem with that. When I used Tolwar going through Fey Meander, and I had they had Questa jumping back in my back line to attack my guys. I wanted to provoke Questa because he does this on his battle skill, throw out the mushroom. The mushroom was like a square away from her and it wasn't provoking her. It's on his battle skill, which is pretty sweet. Like every 10 seconds you can provoke, but this diamond shape that you see here is where he throws it out. It's not the provoke potential of the mushroom. So the mushroom only provokes, I think, right next to it. And then it does like this blind and poison and like you hardly ever see this stuff happening. And then he's running around doing God knows what and not really tanking. I guess accuracy penalty. They just need to tweak him a little bit. I think he has a lot of potential to be really cool. They just need to tweak him a little bit so we can actually use him. I mean, all the poisons seem to be good too. I mean, I don't think we have that many trash legendaries, do we? Tell me a trash legendary. What's another one? Which one is that? Oh, she's amazing. She's so good. I use her on my main account, and she, to me, is one of the coolest new legendaries that they put out. I feel like she can do so much. So much. Yeah. If you haven't played her, try her out. Use her as a main tank. Put her with defensive gear, give her a lot of accuracy, defensive glove, defensive chest, defensive rune, accuracy rune, and put her as like your main tank to where she's being hit. And then have a healer in there to heal her up. Plus she's going to heal herself a little bit because she doesn't have high attack, so it's not going to be crazy. But she's going to pull in multiple targets. So she's going to do this off of multiple targets, knock back their ultimate gauge, slow speed them, and then decrease attack them. And knock them up if they're casting an ability. I don't know. I feel like she's crazy powerful. She's got a fear here when she pulls them in. I love playing her. Yeah. Well, her, yeah, of course. That's a legendary that that we haven't found. Oh, we haven't even found a way to make her like viable. When you can't even find like one way to make them viable, when you can't just say, hey, I use that legendary to go through goblins and blow up goblins, when you can't even say that, then it's pretty sad. I've never played Greshnar, but from all that I can see that he can do, he looks like a beast. Ignoring 20% defense and all the other, or ignoring 20% damage and all the things he can do, he looks like a beast. I just don't see him played anywhere. I guess we've got a lot of other options. I feel like all the rest of these are cool. So this is the only one out of lightning that I see that's not good. Poison, they all have good uses, like really good legendaries. We've got awesome legendaries in Radiant. I don't think there's any useless ones here. Frost, all awesome except for Zorak, which still can be usable if you have like a limited account. You can still use them. All these are good. But then you come over here to the summons ones, and this is the issue. Ghoulind is amazing. Used a lot on my account, used a lot on a lot of people's account. So we got an amazing hero there. But then you go, like, Berengar is cool. Ripekis can do a lot of stuff if you wanted to play him. I feel like I have other options, even in Epic, to where I don't really need to play him. Get through content. Dolk, I haven't, you know, I have Dolk on my main account. Has anybody been using this guy? I do have him on my main, don't I? I'm pretty sure I have this guy sitting, and I've never even considered leveling him up. Let me log back in over here. I'm almost positive I pulled this guy. And he's the one that decreases the attack immediately when he goes in. Who's that? Who's that name? You keep saying that name. This guy? Is he good for anything? I mean, he's a summoner, so as far as summons go, nobody uses summons until we get to a boss to where we have to make a summon team, or we need an additional team to like fight the end game, the very end game boss. Then we'll use some summons if we have to, but most people don't. You stay away from summons, man. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Let me see if I got him. Yeah, I got him. Dolk. I haven't heard anybody say anything about Dolk ever. Attacked the enemy with the highest attack at the start of the battle. So pretty good smack on him to get him low. We put the attack penalty on. Oh, this is the one where we banish someone out of the battlefield, and then we can kind of just run past them, right? So maybe this guy with the new Spider Lady in Fae. Go into Fae if we're worried about, like, once we get up to those 140 floors, 150 floors of Fae, we go in there, we hit that Hivitar in the back if she has the highest attack. I don't know if she's going to make her not hit as hard, which will save us a couple rounds. Try not to get those frosty buffs up so she doesn't do as much damage too. And then we're doing attack penalty again on someone. Highest attack again, attack penalty. Accuracy bonus. I'd have to test him in Fae. I haven't tested him there. Because banish should put them out of combat, right? If they've got one big tank and we banish that tank, shouldn't my guys just run right past? Yeah, how people can get her ultimate smack. Yeah. I mean, Liliana's can do a lot of damage, but again, she's an exclusive legendary that a lot of people aren't going to have because it's much harder to pull an exclusive. And then you're going through all the frustration of trying to level up some other summoners just to empower her. And she is a team I used last season. Last season, I used one of my teams. I did use her in, but it was only because I had her. What recipes? Where is it? So season 1, at the end of the season, the Copper Dragon, I made 6 teams we needed. And then over here on the far right, you can see I've got Liliana's, Urzilla's, Ghoulind, Zadok, and Estella on my team. And we got 43 million that first fight. And then I started changing some stuff around. We got 49 million, 58 million, and 50 million. And I had to micromanage that team a lot. We should do better now that Estella won't summon. She won't heal summons. We should do better this. But we don't know what the boss is going to be like. We don't know, like, the in-game boss for this season is going to be a mechanical crab. We don't know if we're only going to fight that for like 3 or 4 or 5 days. And when we do, we don't know. I'm sure AoE is still going to do well. So I'll look back on this when we fight those teams. But now I've got a lot of other options, right? I've got a lot of other heroes. I've got Burns that can do a lot of AoE if we want to bring in Burns to like the in-game boss. I'm sure those are going to do well. If it's got 3 different targets that we can put up Burns on and 3 different ones we can explode, I bet for the new boss that we fight at the very end of the season, I bet Burns are going to do extremely well. Even the epic Burn, who dies pretty easy, will do well against that boss. She's your only Necro legendary? Yeah, I wouldn't focus anything on her. I would just ignore that you even have her. I know it's kind of sucks to say that, but I would just not do it. Not do it. I know it sucks to say ignore a legendary hero that you pulled, but unfortunately, it just all goes with this. Torn is like the coolest person here. Torn is the Ghoulind and Torn are the best here. Ghoulind and Torn. Now that we've got her, she's amazing. he looks pretty cool to help out with her because this girl is, I love her. I love that one. And then Berengar is cool too. But when you start to look at all these things that have the summon icon on it, it's just not even worth your time. Not until the very end of the season and you're forced to make a team with them. I just wouldn't do it. Any recommended Lothar? He's supposed to be, I've never played him before, but he's supposed to be nuts. You just get up a whole bunch of poisons with whoever you have that applies a lot of poisons, and you let him do his ultimate, and he just does insane broken damage with this ultimate. You just gotta have poisons up. Doesn't matter who does it and how strong those people are applying the poisons. Those people applying the poisons don't need to have like insane attack on them to make that poison debuff stronger. It's not about that. It's just about the actual poison debuff being up and him being extremely strong with enlightenment, crit rate and critical damage, I would assume, because I think this can crit, and then he just does nuts damage. So yeah, you could level him up and play him. And that's another thing, like with them working on poison, I really like poison in a whole bunch of games I play. I like poison in any kind of turn-based gacha game I can ever remember playing. Like poison has always been a really good debuff to have up. But here, that's not really the case, you know? I wish they'd go back and make poison, the actual tick of the debuff, a lot stronger and based off of the target's max HP maybe, like they do in all the other games that we play. So that then we can really take advantage of poison and not just let it fall in the hands of these 3 legendaries. Right? Durango can apply a lot of poisons if you need a lot of poisons applied for those 3 legendaries. But when it comes to poisons, you're just relying on these 3 legendaries because they take advantage of poison being up, or with her, Vakana, being applied after she does her ultimate. But not, the poison debuff means nothing. Which I don't like. Where poison is way too strong compared to anything else? Well, no. Poison has always traditionally been something in all turn-based gachas that you can use to slow kill. Like when I was going through Summoner's War and I was doing the tower, the 100-floor tower, in the beginning, I would use poison because I'd use the team to turn me to reduce and to stun the opposite, you know, to stun the enemies and apply poisons up so I could slowly make it through. But toward mid-game and in-game, once you're stronger, you don't really rely on poisons to slowly take down a boss anymore. You might do poison explosion, which is kind of like what these 3 do. These 2 do, and this one does it a little differently. You might do that, which you can do here. I mean, you can do 16-second speed runs of like Grave of Curse with these guys, with these 2. Just put up a lot of poisons, extend the poisons right here, and blow them up. So you can still do that here, but the actual poison debuff should work a lot better than it does. We don't need it to be overpowered. We don't need it to be the only thing you rely on, but we need it to be usable. It's not even usable here. That's all, just options, you know, just fun stuff to do. Yeah, we definitely don't need it to be overpowered. Before Unkillable teams, where we had heavy poison teams. Raid, we only had heavy poison teams if you were going to blow them up. If you're going to blow up poisons to blow up the waves. Other than that, you would use poison to slowly beat something in Raid. Like a boss. But the only way poison was fast in Raid was something like your 2 poisoners. What's her name? What's that one girl's name with the wings? Zavia? Was that her name? So if you had her come in and blow up poisons and you could blow up some waves back in the day, you could even blow up the boss with that. And there were a couple other poison exploders that they had. But that was with this poison explosion. That's not the actual tick that I'm talking about. The tick for poison we did use on the guild boss, on Raid's guild boss, right? What's it called? Clan boss? We use poison there, and we still use poison there, right? To slowly get a lot of damage done. Even in WoW we had poisons. Those rogues were OP. Yeah. Well, here they just got to make it to where it's just a bit stronger, you know? I would like to see poisons work. I would like to see epics and rare works, and then they might have to I don't even think they have to balance the legendaries then, because it doesn't really matter if the ticks are going on. Most of these legendaries will remove it or explode it or do something with it. I'm talking about just making the debuff viable. I don't know. We'll see what they're going to do. I'm excited to see some changes some changes, some balancing made. I will be very excited about that. I'm excited to see the new Dungeons and Dragons collaboration that they're going to have after we're done with this Ardrith event. And we've got how many weeks? So I think, did the last event happen right before Otherworld Exploration opened up? I think we were doing this, right? When we had to fight Eritu, we were still doing this, weren't we? I don't know if we were. I don't remember being that busy. I don't remember going into the Otherworld Exploration and trying to find all those bosses, doing those Otherworld Exploration domains, and then also doing the Eritu event. But whenever... I think it matches up though. 20 days till we get to the other world, and then this current event we have with 20 days too. So I guess it's got to happen. The D&D collaboration has to happen in 19 days from now. Otherwise, we've only got 30 days left anyways for the season. There's a lot of us who have missed Link Heroes. Oh, Link Heroes. Yeah. They don't affect each other, right? And I think that's just to do with, you know, our hero. We have a lot of heroes. Our hero pool is vast, but we don't have enough heroes that actually feed off of each other. Like Durham doesn't give buffs to burns and wilds. He only gives buffs here to burn allies. If it said burn and wild allies, that'd be pretty cool. Then we can maybe throw him in a wild team. And even though he's not doing wild procs to help them out, he's doing buffs to help them out. I think that would have been a really cool thing to do. And I don't think it would have been overpowered at all. Say you got two wild proccers like Erich and Totalnan in there. They're helping each other. They're building up to get to where they need to be. And then this guy's in here doing damage and then also giving them the attack and crit damage buff. Yeah, I'm sure they'll work on that. And plus, you know, as the seasons go by, we'll have so many heroes. I don't foresee them bringing out something else besides Wild and Burn. I'm pretty sure they're going to stick with Wild and Burn for this right now and build on that. I don't see them coming out with like Ignite next season. Wild, Burn, and now we've got Ignite for season 3. I just don't see them. That would be too many too soon. They just don't work together. I do see them on season 3 coming out with some new Wild heroes and new Burn heroes, both. Like a couple new, maybe like 2 new legendaries that are Wild, 2 new legendaries that are Burn, and then a couple epics that are both. I don't see them doing another thing. If they did another type of gimmick, it would be way too much. 2 is fine, and you can tell 1 is for single target, 1 is for AoE primarily. Same thing with this. We've got Frost over here for AoE. We've got the Ice Crystals Frost Blast for single target, and then over here we've got Thunderbolt for AoE, and we've got Dauntless for single target. Now what they need to work on is our Radiant, right? They gave us some more support over here. I guess they need to work on some rally heroes, and then they need to do something with summons so we can use summons. And then we'd be pretty good. And they will. We'll do all this. It was the beginning of last month. Yeah, it was the beginning of the last month. That's when we'll see the Dungeons and Dragons collaboration. And before that happens, like weeks before, we're going to see some new updates, advertisements. Like we'll see some new videos. They'll tell all the content creators to do some new videos talking about the Dungeons and Dragons collaboration. IGN will have a video up right away. For some reason, IGN always gets like a brand new little short video out before anybody else. So we'll know. Hard without Furbath, Garius, or Dolphus. Hex, Megan, and Quirion for healing. Well, at least you've got some pretty good... Yeah, it does make it challenging, though. Very challenging. All right, guys, it's Sunday over here. My whole family's off. It's been raining all day. They've been chilling behind me. I think my daughter has one of her friends over. I can hear my wife out there and my son. I'm going to go have lunch with them. It's almost 2 p.m., and I will be back tomorrow for sure. All next week, we're going to be streaming same, not necessarily the same time, but we'll be on, I believe, around 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. Hellspawner, thanks so much. We did that Unkillable team with Zephy and Ogok. I'll do some more Unkillable stuff later on today for some dungeons, and then we'll get out a video tonight for those, and then we'll do this other team over here that Angel or Demon posted for us, and we'll see how many... We'll see if we can get to 240 stacks. That's crazy. Yeah. You guys have a great weekend. I will see you guys tomorrow.